Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In today's episode, we dive into one of the most chilling stories in paranormal history, the haunting experience at Sallie House. A tale so eerie, it has left visitors questioning what's real and what isn't. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video with your friends who love a good scare. Also, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Now, let's step inside Sallie House and uncover the darkness that still lingers within. Some houses don't just remember the past, they keep it alive. When I agreed to spend the night inside the Sallie House, I thought it would be another chance to debunk a local ghost story, but I was wrong. What I saw, what I lost, it still follows me. And if you've ever heard a child's voice in an empty room, you already know why I can never go back. My name is John Miller. I'm 29 years old, and for the past 5 years I've been what you might call an amateur paranormal investigator. That doesn't mean I'm a ghost hunter. Far from it. I'm a skeptic. Every abandoned house, every shadow on a wall, every sound people swear is paranormal, I've always found a rational explanation. It's my thing. I like poking holes in scary stories. When I heard about the Sallie House in Atchison, Kansas, I thought it would be the perfect weekend trip. It's famous for its hauntings. Locals say Sallie was the spirit of a little girl who died during surgery in the house over 100 years ago. Some people claim she still wanders the rooms, scratching at walls, playing with toys left behind. I'll admit, the stories intrigued me. My girlfriend, Emily Carter, wasn't as enthusiastic. She's 27, sharp, intuitive, and far more sensitive to atmosphere than I am. She doesn't mock what she can't explain. When I told her about my plan to book a night in the Sallie House, she frowned. "John, maybe don't." But I laughed it off. Locals we met when we arrived weren't any better. At a diner in town, an older woman leaned across the counter and whispered, "Sallie doesn't like strangers. You shouldn't go in." I smiled, thanked her, and moved on. But Emily stayed quiet, her eyes heavy with unease. By evening, we pulled up outside the house. It was everything I expected. A weather-worn Victorian with chipped paint, sagging shutters, and an aura that seemed to push against the streetlights. Even though neighbors lived just a block away, the house felt cut off, isolated, like the world outside didn't quite exist once you stepped inside. The air changed the moment we opened the door. Cold swept through the hall, heavy and unnatural. Wallpaper peeled in jagged strips. Floorboards groaned under every step. Even when we stood still, I filmed everything, narrating confidently for the camera. Emily stayed close, her flashlight darting nervously along the walls. We explored the downstairs first, a parlor with cracked mirrors, a kitchen that smelled faintly of mildew, a dining room where shadows seemed to linger even when the light passed over them. But it was upstairs that the energy shifted. The nursery, the door stuck as I pushed it open, like something resisted from the other side. Inside, the air was sharper, colder, enough to see my breath. An old wooden crib leaned in the corner, toys scattered across the floor, coated in dust, except for a single stuffed bear that looked newer, as if someone had placed it there recently. Emily didn't step inside. She stood in the doorway, hugging herself. "I don't like this room, John. Please." I smirked, raising my flashlight. "It's just a room, Em. Look, nothing here but old toys." But then, the flashlight flickered, once, twice, and when the beam steadied again, something had changed. The rocking horse in the middle of the room was moving, back and forth. "Slow, deliberate," Emily gasped. I tried to laugh it off, muttering about drafts, but the windows were shut tight. The air in that room didn't move. That was the first moment I felt it, the first hair-raising chill that whispered, maybe I was wrong. We should have left then, but I wanted proof. I bent down to pick up a toy on the floor, a small wooden block, its paint chipped and worn. Emily stood behind me, whispering for us to go. As my fingers touched the block, the flashlight sputtered again. Darkness swallowed the room for just a heartbeat. When it came back on, Emily screamed, because I was gone. From her perspective, 1 second I was crouched over the toy. The next, there was nothing but empty floor. The block rocked gently where I had touched it, as if an invisible hand had set it down. Emily ran into the room, calling my name, checking every corner, but the doors were locked, the windows nailed shut. There was no way I could have slipped out, and yet, I wasn't there. From my side, it was worse. One moment I was in the nursery, the next, I was somewhere else entirely. A darkness that didn't feel like night, more like a void. No walls, no floor, just endless shadow. I heard whispers, high-pitched, childlike, soft giggling in the dark. Play with me. Small hands tugged at my sleeves, scratched at my skin. My flashlight was gone. My voice wouldn't come. I was trapped. Meanwhile, Emily searched the house desperately. She tore through every room, yanking open closets, pounding at doors. When her cell phone buzzed, she nearly dropped it. She answered, but there was no voice, just faint giggles. And then, softly, my own voice calling her name, but muffled, distant, like I was behind the walls. She pressed her ear to the nursery door and froze. Fresh scratches now marked the wood. Thin, deep lines etched down from the handle, as if made by tiny fingernails. Hours passed, maybe more. Emily lost track of time, pacing the halls, whispering prayers. Then, footsteps upstairs. She rushed back to the nursery, heart pounding, and found me. I was standing in the corner of the room, still, silent, my face pale as ash, my eyes vacant, staring at the floor. Emily shouted my name, shaking me, crying with relief. Slowly I blinked. Emily, what's wrong? My voice was flat, confused. John, you've been gone for 2 days. I frowned, insisting I had only been gone for minutes. Then I crouched to grab the toy. The light flickered, and then nothing. But Emily swore she had been trapped in that house for 48 hours, alone, with me whispering from the walls. When I lifted my arms to prove I was fine, she gasped, because my skin bore marks, small, child-sized handprints, burned into my arms, as if something had gripped me and refused to let go. We left the Sallie house before dawn. Emily refused to spend another second there. I tried to convince myself it was stress, a shared hallucination, that the burns on my arms were some bizarre reaction to mildew or dust. But weeks later, the truth came back to us. One night, Emily woke to the sound of whispers in our bedroom. She turned to me and froze. I was sitting up in bed, my face half lit by the moon, smiling, speaking in a voice that wasn't mine. Hi, childlike. Sallie wants to play. Emily screamed. I don't remember any of it. I only remember waking with her clutching me, trembling, begging me to leave. I told her it was a dream, but she swore she wasn't sleeping, and every morning since, I've found new scratches on the walls of our apartment, on the bedroom door, and sometimes on my arms. The Sallie house didn't let me go. It just followed me home.